just woke up. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. And the first thing I usually do is just climb right out of bed and sit down on the floor and meditate. So we're gonna go do that. Okay, so now that I'm done with the meditation, my mind is set, I'm centered. The goal is just to go for a run. We're just gonna do 1 mile, nice and simple, just to warm my body up and get ready for the day. All right, let's hit So usually I don't really eat in the morning. I like to wait until about 10 or 11 to eat my first food. I like to, do a little bit of intermittent fasting. But today I have my SAT at 8 o'clock today. So it is currently 6:24. I got up at 5:15 and I went for my run and got ready and then we're gonna eat. And I gotta be out the door in about an hour. So I gotta eat quick and then get back to it on studying and journaling. Just occurred to me I probably should have filmed me making that, but it's okay. So I'm gonna go eat this real quick and then we're gonna lock in. It is currently, 6:43. Took me 20 minutes to make it. And then we're going to lock in on some studying. I have like notes full of everything I remember for this test, so I'm gonna go over that. And then we'll journal and then we'll head out. So that took 3 minutes. Super simple, very small task, but I wanted to go over exactly what I'm actually writing down when I do my journaling. So I start with just a brief paragraph about pretty much anything. It could be today it was how I felt today was, which I thought was rather slow, but relatively successful even for a morning. And I feel like I'm getting the ball rolling pretty well today. So that's pretty much what I wrote about. I just kind of pat myself on the back, but sometimes it's a little more harsh with myself. It's just more of whatever's topical in my head that I just want to get out. And then I move on to my failures. I know that might be kind of a weird thing, but for me, I find motivation in noticing my mistakes and realizing I can never get that mistake back because it already happened. So I try to really point those out to myself so that I make sure I don't repeat them. And when I'm going back through this, now if I notice there's a continuous failure that's the same, I gotta figure out why it's happening over and over again so I can adjust and fix it. So I start with my failures, and then I move on to my goals. So my goals are just 3 to 5 things that if I do today, I'll be able to go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow and feel accomplished with today's day. So I wrote those out, and then I finalize my journal with my wants. Now these could be monetary goals, these could be mental goals, these could be familial goals, these could be maybe I want a pair of Loro Piana shoes, like it's something along those lines. And this acts as a wish list for my birthdays and for Hanukkah and all that sort of stuff, but mostly as a way of tracking what really matters to me, so that if I notice I'm getting a little bit too shallow and my wants, like today my wants were to be able to give back to my community, inner peace, happiness, and success. Now other days, let's go to, August 19th, my wants were Hills blue light framed glasses, right? So sometimes they're a little more shallow and more like, okay, I just want this object. But I like being able to track that. One, to know if there's something that I really want over the past numerous days that, okay, maybe I treat myself to that in a little bit. But it's also a good way of tracking, okay, am I getting too shallow? Am I getting too focused on the things rather than the substance? Yeah, so that's how I journal.
Okay, so I forgot to update you guys after the SAT, but the SAT went well. It was one of those moments where like you study for something for a while and it actually kind of pays off. Granted, we're gonna have to see how the score goes, but we will get that back and hopefully it's good. I got some cool video. I got the Ray-Ban Metas, so I got some cool video of the drive back on those, and I'm hoping that turns out pretty good. So that means that I have about 4 hours to do a ton of work. It is 12:07 currently. I'm gonna go to the gym right now, knock that out in about an hour, grab some food real quick, and then knock into work. I wrote down a whole bunch of ideas of new things I could sell in the digital marketplace, and then I also need to come up with, I have a template package for freelance creators and consultants for like outreach emails, things like that. I need to figure out a way to market it better because I really have gotten almost no outreach on it, and I don't know why. So I need to figure out a new way to approach that so I can get a little bit more looks at it, because once people look at it, I think I'll get purchases, but I'm not getting really any looks. So I'm gonna rethink that and then move on to trying to come up with some other things to add to my Watt page to sell as well, just to give myself, to keep like a foot in or a hand in numerous pots. Okay, so I just finished up at the gym. Couldn't really record in there just because there's so many people in there, and I feel bad recording other people as well. I just feel like that's kind of bad, especially when I post it. But gym went well. We hit legs today. It was a big day. The girl I'm talking to is gonna come over and we're gonna cook a little steak together and make some potatoes, maybe watch a movie. So that'll be kind of fun. But yeah, so now it's just gonna be getting home and getting a ton of work done. And yeah, so I'll show you guys all that, and then that's gonna be pretty much my my Saturday. Okay, about to lock in and get some work done. I've got the Brain FM going, and we're gonna start off on a bit of economics work for school, and then we're gonna have to dive into it looks like some calculus, some AP Calc homework, and then after that, so I wrote up a couple different ideas for the next thing I could sell online, and the next thing I could create for that. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going to work best for that. And those that I have are the science-based morning routine for middle-aged men to regain their youth, guided meditation template for young men trying to control their minds, workout routine for students who want to look like. I need to figure out what the look like is, I guess, and then ebook on how to journal effectively to increase mindfulness and productivity, ebook on efficiency. So those are the ideas of ebooks to write and then try to sell. The question is whether those have a better kind of click appeal, just to get kind of eyes on it quickly, as opposed to what I currently have up, which is a freelancer and like a freelancer template guide. So I feel like that doesn't have a ton of click appeal, especially with AI. You can kind of do it yourself now, although the prompts are kind of difficult to get, which is what I've mastered. But if you figure out the prompts, you don't need it. So it's about finding something that requires my brain for them to need, and really be very easy for someone to purchase and want to purchase, not for some extraneous cost, but just purchase in general. So that's gonna be what I go through afterwards. So we're gonna go econ, calc, figuring this out, and then my work for today is done, and I can take a step back and chill. I try to keep my Saturdays kind of light, but still productive. So I'm gonna dive in.